Hey everyone, welcome to Let's Write an Episode. I'm Tommy Oler. Last week you heard us write our parody of Home Improvement. Now we are performing it live. Our actors are Angela Garrone as Tim the Toolman Taylor, Casey Shornima as Jill Taylor, Nick Cox is Randy, Hayden McOlgen is Brad and Al Borelin, Jackson Maness as Wilson and Jackson. Now, if you're an avid listener to this podcast, you've probably caught on that we don't hire professional actors, and that's never been more evident than in this show. And to showcase that, there is a blooper reel at the end, just like in the real Home Improvement. Okay, guys, I'll let you get to it. Enjoy. Your narrator. So let's get this episode of Home Improvement started. Yay!
Woo, woo!
Cool. We're starting off in the Taylor kitchen. An evening. Jill opens the oven to check on the food. Tim is putting plates on the table.
Why am I doing this? We need a maid or a butler.
Tim, we have 3 butlers upstairs.
Oh, right. Boys, get down here. Your mom wants you to set the table up for dinner.
Jill gives him a look. Randy, Brad, and Mark all come downstairs.
I'm going to tell.
Not if I do first.
You better not, or I'm gonna beat your fucking head in.
Boys, watch language.
Gonna tell what?
Nothing.
Fine. Grab the silverware and napkins.
The boys do as they're told and set the table up.
What are we having anyway?
Jill pulls a tray out of the oven.
Lasagna.
I hate lasagna.
Then you don't have to eat.
I can't remember. Does lasagna have meat in it?
This one doesn't. It's vegetarian.
Ugh. Now I hate lasagna.
Randy loves meat, though. Don't you, Randy?
Shut up, Brad.
Yeah, big time meat eater.
Mark, I will fucking slit your throat if you speak again.
Mark doesn't speak for the rest of the episode. Goodbye, Mark.
Quit bothering your brother. There's nothing wrong with liking meat. I love meat.
Mom, you're a girl. You're supposed to love meat.
Well, what about me? I love meat too.
Dad, stop.
What's all this about between you 3?
Randy's dating someone new.
Oh, what's her name?
What's so funny?
Dad said her.
Brad, shut up.
You're not dating a boy, are you? We've got enough men grunting in this house. We don't need 2 more behind closed doors.
God, Dad, stop.
Tim, seriously?
You know what they say? It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Jesus, Dad.
Randy runs upstairs.
This is serious. Randy was trying to open up about this.
What? I'm just joking around. Is it not Steve? Is it Perry? Niles? Quincy?
Jill follows Randy. Mark and Brad laugh. Tim's smile fades as he watches Jill leave. The next day, on the set of Tool Time, Tim and Al stand behind the scenery waiting for Heidi to call them on stage.
All right, what's wrong, Tim? You've been all day.
I think I messed up with Randy. He barely said a word to me this morning.
It's been less than a month since Randy got back from Costa Rica. I mean, he broke up with Lauren there. He's probably still sad about being home.
It's not that. I think he was trying to come out.
Come out?
Of the closet. You know, the place your mom's too fat to fit in.
Stop. Tim, that's great news.
The tool girl Heidi comes up to her mic.
How is that great news? It's not.
Does everybody know what time it is?
It's
tool time! That's right. Binford Tools is proud to present Tim the Toolman Taylor. Woohoo!
Tim and Al come around the corner to greet the audience. Al gives his signature salute while giving Tim a concerned look.
Welcome to Tool Time. I'm Tim the Toolman Taylor, and this is my assistant, Al the Husky Man Borelin.
The Husky Man?
Yeah, Al. You've heard of the Brawny Man.
Yeah.
Well, your paper towels will be called Husky. The only paper towel you've got to ask 15 times to clean the mess before they get to it.
All right, Tim. Let's get to what we're going to work on today.
Today, I want to talk to you about AC power plugs and sockets.
Tim and Al walk over to an electrical socket on the opposite wall. Tim picks up a plug and points to the socket.
Every home has these little babies. The plug I'm holding, in fancy tool terms, has prongs. They are what's known as the male contact. Hey, Al, can you guess why? Just kidding. I know you're just a Ken doll down there.
Get on with it.
And this socket, what the plug goes into, is the female contact. So, to get power, you've got to connect male to female.
Tim looks to Al.
A female to female or male to male won't make any power. But every now and again, you get one of these guys here.
Tim holds up a 3-prong plug.
See that little piece at the bottom sticking out real far, Al?
Yes, Tim.
Jealous?
Actually, I'm doing quite well for myself.
Says your little hands. Anyway, sometimes you get a 3-prong plug and a 2-prong socket to put it into. Lucky for you, I'm going to show you how to fix this problem.
Tim picks up a small pair of bolt cutters.
Tim, there are simpler ways to get around this issue rather than messing with the prongs.
Nope.
Tim cuts off the bottom prong.
What's simpler than that?
Tim holds the cut plug toward Al. Al's face is stern.
Still jealous, huh, Al? Now you can plug it in, no problem.
You ever thought that there's a reason 3-prong plugs go into 3-prong sockets, Tim?
Tim bends down to connect his plug into the socket, and a shower of sparks comes flying out of the wall.
Oh, look at that. Trying to force what you think is right. Blew up in your face.
A little on the nose, don't you think?
Al turns to the camera.
See, you don't need to cut the prong off when you could get one of these.
Al holds up a little gizmo.
What's that?
This is a 2 to 3-prong adapter. It's non-binary. It's not one way or the other. It can both give and receive. You just plug your 3-prong plug in the front here, and then stick the 2 prongs in the back into the socket, and
Al turns on a drill.
voila.
Al turns to Tim.
And while this looks complicated at first, it's actually pretty easy to understand if you keep an open mind.
Well, I think these little doodads are just a phase, and we won't be seeing them long once they put batteries in everything. It's an inferior item.
Tim grabs the adapter, puts on his goggles, picks up a sledgehammer, and turns to the audience.
And you know what we do with inferior tools here.
Smash! 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 Smash!
Smash!
Tim smashes the little adapter with a sledgehammer.
Woo! Yeah!
Tim looks to Al. Al is shaking his head. Tim smiles. Back at home, Tim is out in the garage working on his old car, while Jill and Randy watch the latest episode of Tool Time. On TV, Tim smashes the adapter and the crowd goes wild.
Wow, unbelievable.
Randy, your father is just messing around. You know.
I know what, Mom? That he's an asshole?
Randy storms off to the garage. Tim is under the car talking to himself.
You've been a dirty girl.
Randy walks in.
You don't get it, do you?
Of course I do.
Tim comes out from under the car and puts his hand on the hood.
Someone rode her hard before I came along. She'll get no judgment from me, because she's by my side now.
No, Dad, not your stupid car.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth.
I'm talking about me.
Oh, my stupid son.
Dad, I'm gay. I saw Tool Time. I know it was about me.
It wasn't about you. It was about plugs and sockets.
Come on, everybody knows you use Tool Time as a personal soapbox.
Listen, I think what you're going through is just a phase.
What I'm going through? Dad, this is who I am.
Look, Randy, we all make choices in life that we regret. I'm just asking you to think about this as a little is all.
This isn't a choice. It's the truth.
Randy walks out and slams the door. Tim stands for a moment, looks at the old tool in his hand and tosses it in the box at his feet, picks up a newer tool. Tim walks out into the backyard. Wilson is on the other side of the fence, his face and body obscured.
Heidi-ho, neighbor.
Hey, Wilson.
I'm sensing trouble in Taylorville.
Yeah, Randy's going through a gay thing right now, and I don't know how to snap him out of it.
And you want him to, quote, choose the right path in life, is that right?
Yes.
Tim, you remind me a bit of Alexander the Great.
Nice.
And the stupid decisions he made at the end of his life. Tim, have you ever heard of the Alexandrian Empire?
No.
That's because there wasn't one. Alexander fell ill, and when his generals pressed him to name an heir, he made the choice not to. His empire dissolved, and there was war across the known world for the next 200 years.
So you're saying Randy's gayness is going to leave him without heirs?
No, Tim, I'm saying Randy's not the one with a choice. You are. You can either make the decision to accept Randy for who he is or not. possibly causing your family to fall into strife.
So, this isn't a choice for Randy.
Of course not. Why would anybody choose to be gay? The world isn't exactly nice to homosexuals. Whole swaths of the planet are off limits, like Russia. And you know how much gays like to travel.
How do you know so much about this, Wilson?
Well, Tim, on the other side of this fence, I've been getting my dick sucked by another man this whole time. Say hi to Charles.
Ho, Tom.
Charles, take the dick out of your mouth.
Charles takes the dick out of his mouth and pops his head over the fence.
Heidi ho, Tim.
Hi, Charles. Wilson, I had no idea.
Never judge a book by its cover, Tim. Now, if you'll excuse us, Charles needs to finish polishing off a knob. Good night.
Good night, Wilson.
Tim walks back into his house. Jill is washing dishes.
We've got to talk.
About Randy.
Yes, about Randy. You really upset him with that pathetic stunt you pulled on Tool Time.
Yeah, I just talked with Wilson. He really set my head straight. Did you know that Alexander the Great didn't choose to be gay because of the traveling?
What?
Just some story Wilson told me.
I think you need to have a heart-to-heart with Randy.
I know, you're right.
Wow, no argument. Wilson really did say the right thing. Maybe you should have married him.
Oh, he'd be all for it, believe me. Did you know Wilson is gay?
Of course I knew. I introduced him to Charles.
Good thing, too. Otherwise, he'd have eyes for me.
Don't worry about that. He would never want you. Wilson is a sapiosexual.
Sapo what? Does that mean he sucks the sap out of a tree's dick?
No, it means he only likes smart guys and you don't fit the bill.
Well, I know a smart guy named Bill who could fit into Wilson.
Shut up.
The next day, Tim and Al are hanging out on the set after wrapping up another episode of Tool Time.
Hey, Al, what's on for tomorrow?
How to patio bench.
Oh. Hey, do me a favor.
What's that?
Don't bring your mother to test out the bench. We don't want it to break this time.
A couple of workers on set laugh.
Tim, stop.
Rule of thumb, if she can't get on an elevator, she can't sit on a bench.
Not funny, Tim.
Jackson thinks it's funny. Don't you, Jackson?
The show's key grip, Jackson, steps up from his work.
Yeah, Al's mom is fat and your son is gay.
Oh, all right, Jackson.
Hey, Tim, I heard a rumor about Randy.
Yeah.
I heard he's huge in the docking community.
What's docking?
Oh, docking is when one man takes the foreskin of his dick and slips over the head of another man's dick.
Okay, Jackson.
Your son's got a nickname and everything, Dr. Dick Doctor MD. Sometimes he'll put a metal rod in his beehole and do the robot and call himself Fagatron.
Jackson does the robot. The crew gathers round to watch.
I am Fagatron. Beep, boop, dick, doc.
That's enough.
Doc or die, doc or die.
Jackson, stop. What makes you think that's okay?
Whoa, I thought you'd be cool with it.
Why? Why would I be cool with it? Doc or die, doc or die.
Mr. Taylor, you've been making gay jokes for years.
No, I haven't.
The one man who works in the accounting department with all the women, Perry, what did you say about his name? Huh?
I said it was the gayest name I ever heard.
And when Frank over there said his son wanted to be a teacher, what did you say?
What's your son gonna teach? Fagonomics?
Homonomics, Tim. You said homonomics because only women are teachers.
Then there was Jermaine. He told us he was from Texas.
Only steers and queers come from Texas, and you're so fat I can't tell which one you are. Well, that was a fat joke, mostly.
He's got a point, Tim.
All right.
Tim steps up to the crew.
From now on, no more gay jokes. If I hear one, you're out of here. Fired. And it's starting with me. I gotta hold myself accountable to my past to make the future better. If you hear another bad joke come out of my mouth, I'm buying lunch that day. Deal?
The crew nod their heads. Heidi steps up.
And what about the women jokes, Tim?
Shut the fuck up, Heidi. I speak the truth about women, not jokes. Trot those tits out of here and go blow your husband. We're done here, guys. See you tomorrow.
1 week later, Tim and Jill are setting up the table for dinner.
You had to let another guy go this week, huh?
How'd you know?
Well, I don't know. The fact that Al had to work the camera, he had it pointed at your crotch half the time, not in focus, thankfully.
Thankfully, I'd think you want an up-close view of this middle-aged, sun-damaged dick.
Hush. Hand me the butter knife.
Tim grabs a knife.
It's been hard lately, Jill. The crew didn't take me seriously.
It's never easy standing up for your morals. You end up leaving behind people you once loved and respected.
Yeah.
And despite all that, you still haven't talked to Randy. It's been a week.
Jill walks to the stairs.
Boys, dinner's ready.
What do I say? I was such a piece of shit before. I feel like a member of the KKK going up to an African-American man with my robe still on to say I'm sorry.
He's your son. All you gotta do is try. To be labeled a good father, the bar is real low. You'd be surprised.
Randy, Brad, and Mark come downstairs.
Hey, boys.
Hey, Dad.
Mark nods, hugs Tim. Randy openly ignores his father. Jill notices and gives Tim a look and mouths, "Say something."
So, Brad, how was practice?
Hard. Aaron King threw up and he had to go to the hospital. I heard he died.
Don't be stupid. He didn't die.
That's what everyone said.
Who's everyone? Clegg?
Yeah.
Brad, Clegg's a fucking liar.
Just telling you what I heard.
So, Randy,
Randy looks at Tim, says nothing.
listen,
Tim looks to Jill. Jill nods slightly.
I was thinking maybe Friday you could bring your boyfriend over. I'd like to meet him.
Randy looks down at his food.
Why? So you can make fun of us with your stupid grunts?
No, I won't do that. I promise. Your mom and I want to meet him. Get to know him over dinner. Learn how you two met. See if it stacks up to how me and your mother met.
Ugh.
What do you say? Dinner? Friday?
Under one condition.
Anything.
You don't tell that stupid story of how you guys met. It's boring and gayer than me.
Tim, taken aback, looks to Jill as she smiles.
Okay, fine. We'll have a normal dinner without exciting, sexy stories.
Yay, I'm so excited to meet him, Randy. What's his name? What?
It's Perry.
My Perry? The accountant on Tool Time?
No, Dad. His son, Perry Jr.
Okay. Okay. Bring old PJ over. We'd be glad to meet him.
The family starts to eat their meal. Randy looks over to Brad, and Brad nods.
Hey, Dad, have you seen this?
Randy makes the OK symbol. He holds his hand upside down into the side of the table. Tim bends to look.
No, I haven't. What's that mean?
It means you're gay now, faggot.
Randy, Brad, and Mark laugh at Tim. Jill smiles. The end. We did it. We did it. We did it. Jackson made it through.
Long ass fucking thing.
That was actually the shortest one we've ever done. Yes, it actually was. Yeah. All right, thanks for listening. And as promised, here is the blooper reel. Tim holds the cut plug towards Al. Al's face is stern.
Still jealous, huh, Al? Now you can plug it in, no problem.
You ever thought there's a reason?
That theirs. Not that theirs.
That theirs.
Is that 3 foot?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, you'll get it.
It can both give and receive.
You're right, though. That's what it does, though. It gives and it receives.
If it doesn't fuck up the meaning of it, which you're fine with.
Yeah. You're good, man. You're good.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you're good, man.
I'm gonna get it on the third time.
Yeah, you're good.
Al holds up.
You're good. Someone get him a water.
Work it out now, guys. Don't do it. And when his generals pressed him to name.
That's not fair. You did that to it with that page break.
No. I didn't know the page break was there.
And when his, you got it.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
It's just not fair, though.
When Alexander fell ill and when start with and when his.
And when his generals pressed.
Just remember that it's and when his before generals. You don't have to look at them both.
I tried to say that the first time.
No, Tim. I'm saying Randy.
Okay.
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 Look, I know. Just
You're good.
Yeah.
now, if you'll excuse us, Charles needs to finish polishing a knob. God damn, I'm gonna start over.
Okay, just do that one again. Yeah.
Never judge a book by its cover, Tim. Now, if you'll excuse me, God damn it.
What's your son gonna teach? Fagonomics?
Oh, damn, I didn't highlight that.
Sorry.
So good about highlighting everything.
Okay.
Homonomics. Okay, here we go.
What's your son gonna teach? Okay, hold on. Jesus.
Sorry, I didn't highlight that for some reason.
Okay. All right. La la la. Okay.
Again, guys, thank you so much for listening. Follow everyone you heard on social media. The links are in the description of this podcast. And be sure to catch our next episode at the end of June, where we write an episode of Gossip Girl, that old CW teen drama, if you remember, that was on in the mid-2000s. That is next on June 18th, so catch that. And for our talented cast, I'm Tommy Oler. Have a good day, guys.